Data looks good. We're hitting record. All right. Hitting that live button, we're going to see. All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. As you can see, as I can see, it looks amazing because now I have data. I had to do it over. I'm sorry, I need my data. Data's important. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back. It's another Monday. It's the Boston Power Hour. Enough with our logo. You get to see our beautiful faces. What's going on, man?
You're killing me, dude.
I'm sorry.
What the fuck happened?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
You derailed me, Cliff.
I did. Yo,
Cliff, what happened?
You had such an amazing speech.
We started, and it's there. You get 2 minutes. You get a two-minute drill.
It said no data. I'm sorry. It was just.
This is what happens.
This is what happens.
This is what happens. But you know what I like? We got a logo, Boston Power Hour logo.
Yeah.
We got what's the third? We got the third down there, right?
Yeah.
You got that little logo in between. We're on the split screen. We're back, and you know what? You can't ruin my vibe. You can't ruin my vibe.
Tell them why I can't ruin your vibe,
because
sir.
the Patriots have won 3 straight games.
Oh, shit.
We'll get back into it, right? We'll go back into it. Patriots fans, the Pats, they're back. They started the season 1-3. And that, again, I'm going to make this re-rant. I'm going to go back here. Patriots had so much national coverage going into this season because it was the Tom Brady return game. He's coming off a Super Bowl victory. And that's all everybody was focused on. And I think that distracted the New England Patriots.
A little bit.
Whether it distracted the coaching staff, whether it distracted the players, it distracted the fan base. Everyone was distracted with Tom Brady coming back. And I think now looking back on it, when you played New Orleans and they played really poorly and the next week was Tampa, that's why they went 1-3. Since that game, they're 4-1. And in that one loss was an overtime loss at home against Dallas. This team has completely flipped the switch.
Yes, sir.
And they look great. The chemistry's there. And I just think it's because they don't have that national exposure. They're really flying under the radar right now. And this is where the team can really start gelling. It's just night and day of what you've seen over the last couple weeks. And I'm glad because we have stuff to talk about.
We do.
Instagram, Spike King Instagram has content to create every single day.
Let's do it.
It's completely different from last year, and it was a little bump in the road, it seems like.
Yep.
But you know what? Every week, it still counts. These little mini playoff games coming up, we'll talk about a little bit later. But it's exciting. We're on the edge of our seats now, and football's back. It's good.
Not to bring a little cloud into your sunshiny
Don't
day.
do it. You already
I have
did it
to.
already.
I'm sorry. Here's another one. This guy, okay? I'm sorry. This guy here.
Yeah, Odell. So
you want to talk about it?
It's crazy this week in the NFL. There's been so much. Dude, I think people forgot about Henry Ruggs already, huh?
Oh my God.
We didn't even. We don't have any time really to talk about it. I mean, we're not going to beat a dead horse or whatever it is.
Right.
Probably the worst thing I just said right there.
Especially with everything. But rest in peace.
Anyways,
rest in peace to the people that lost
it's crazy how the NFL evolves and how short of attention span. And this guy is owning the media. And it's actually, I want to say something about this. The NFL is probably pushing this out there more than it needs to be because they want things to be forgotten about.
Right.
So, Odell Beckham, he's not coming to the New England Patriots. Patriots fans, he's not coming. Babs, why are you so sour? Spike King, you should be excited. Do I want Odell? Sure. Add an extra receiver. The team doesn't need him. And I truly think Mac Jones, the timing just doesn't work.
No.
It doesn't work. Odell needs to be looked at every couple plays. I don't think Mac Jones has that ability to do that just yet. They're game managing Mac Jones right now. And I think inserting him to the team at this point when you're still building chemistry, where things are still raw, it's not the right time. It's not the right fit. It just didn't work out. It doesn't mean Belichick's not doing his due diligence. It doesn't mean that Belichick's not taking the time to look into it. I'm sure they are. And Cliff, I mean, I was told I got somebody in the front office. I do.
Yep.
Like, I don't care if you don't believe me or not.
It doesn't matter.
I don't fucking care. I'm going to put it out there. And they said they're not going to go for Odell. They like the team that they have right now. They're going to build the chemistry off of it, and that's it. Don't expect him to come. That's it. Simple put. And this reminds me so much of Julio Jones in the offseason.
But why do we do this all the time? Every year.
Well, it's because, you know why? Because before we went live, I got Cliff out here.
Yep.
Your wife calls you.
I know.
And says, blah, 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 blah. You're talking. Then all of a sudden, you're like, we got Odell. So what did I do? I go to Twitter. I had to refresh because it's going to be the first thing on Twitter, right?
Yep.
It's going to be all the breaking news. And I didn't see anything.
Nope.
And then you pull up the tweet, and it's one of those CJ Goldstein tweets, the Justin Ramos tweets. It's, what's the other one? Mo Money, Mo Chanel. Yeah, you got the tweet right there.
Yeah.
The tweet that's been surfacing. What time did that come out, by the way?
Let's see. Oh, wow. That was super early. She wasn't looking.
Yeah, she wasn't looking.
I'm not going to give that to
her. A person like your wife that's following,
Yep.
she supports the New England Patriots, sees that, and starts to spread it out there like, oh, the Pats are going to get it. It's all false information.
Snowball effect.
It's all. That's what happened with Julio. How many people out there said, breaking news, I have it, Julio Jones is coming. And we didn't do this show. We're pretty new with the show, Boston Power Hour. Appreciate you guys watching. Back in that summertime, I shot that down right away. I said, Julio's not coming. Now, I was told by Chris Matthews at the time, he thought that Julio might be going to L.A. Chargers, so I put that out there. But I was adamant he wasn't coming to the New England Patriots because I talked to my guy on the team and said, we're not getting him. We're not getting him. It's not going to fit here. It's not going to work. And there was still question marks on who even was the quarterback at the time. There was so many question marks.
I'm glad we didn't.
I get that we like to be hyped up. I like that we get to be excited for something. But be excited that your team has just won their third straight game. The chemistry's building. They're 5-4. Buffalo lost this week against Jacksonville.
Double dipping.
Right there in the AFC
dipping.
East.
Do we want to go there? I know we kind of have a format. Do you want to go right there or you want to just wait for now?
Let's wait.
Okay,
we'll wait. We can wait. Odell Beckham, I don't know where he's going to go. He wants to go if he wants to go to a contending team, the Patriots, you can say they're contending. They're part of it.
They are.
But if I'm Odell Beckham, there's only X amount of games left in the season. I don't see him going to Seattle. I know that's been the new rumor. Seattle's 3-5. They're not going to win anything in their
Why would he
division.
want to go there anyway?
I wouldn't want to go there. I just looked at the weather because I was joking. Oh, Seattle's got great weather. It's raining every single day for the rest of the week.
Yeah.
It's cold, rainy. It's depression season right now because of the clocks changing. And it's just like, why would you want to go to Seattle? Go to LA Rams. Go to Tampa Bay. Go to Dallas. Go to a team that you say I can play for the rest of the season.
Yeah.
Try to ring chase and then reassess in the offseason. And maybe at that time, Cliff, if he does a 1 year or half a season deal and plays it out, then in the offseason the Patriots can reassess, and maybe that's when you make the splash for Odell Beckham. It just doesn't make the sense right now in the middle of the season when you're 5-4 and you're just trying to build yourself up for chemistry. I know you fans out there are going to say, Babs, you're going to insert a wide receiver like Odell Beckham right onto this team, inject him, and it doesn't work
that way.
I don't trust Mac Jones for the rest of the season to be able to bomb it out to Odell. I don't trust Odell to be a guy that's going to get 1 or 2 targets a game and be happy about it. He's somebody that's going to be, give it to me now. I need to be the playmaker. That's the type of individual he is. I just don't think the timing works out just yet. And shout out to Josh Tumlin, because I know he's watching out there. He says that Mac Jones just isn't built yet to be the leader, to lead a guy like Odell right now. Like, these Randy Moss comparisons, people.
They have to stop.
Stop them. Because, yes, you could say Randy Moss and Odell have the same, amount of receptions and yards and their timing and the age. It makes so much sense. Tom Brady was already an established leader of a quarterback in 2007 when they landed Randy Moss. It's completely different now. They opened the playbook up, and they opened up Tom Brady to do what he had to do offensively. Mac Jones is in his rookie season and has just played his 9th game. There's a complete difference between the Randy Moss comparisons.
Tell him to cut it out.
You got to stop that. We got to stop those comparisons. I'm sorry. Again, do I want Odell? Sure. It's just not happening. It's not going to happen for the New England Patriots. And you know what? You guys are going to have your freezing cold takes. You're going to save this. You're going to post it tomorrow. It's not happening. I told you so. And I told you so days ago. Yeah. And I stopped it because we're all just getting sucked into this right now.
We are.
Everyone's just, you know what? People hate to use this. I'm focused on Cleveland. I don't play for the Patriots, but as a fan, I'm focused on Cleveland. We have a big task at hand coming up this week.
Well, before we go there, because I know we want to go there. I know how you are. Let's, we got to do our due diligence and we got to just review. There was a couple nice things that happened. Obviously, we won. Obviously, there was a thing called a running game. Not too bad. I'm going to jump here and there.
No,
but
you know what? You know what? So I looked at this earlier. So let's see. I think Bolden had a combined 100 yards altogether between the receiving and rushing.
Right, that's right.
And I was saying this earlier today. I was talking. A little shout out to Do Your Pod. I know we do our thing and do a little Patriots thing there. I talked about this and said what I like about the New England Patriots and what you just got to see this game was Belichick's great at finding running backs and having this rotation that can happen every single year. How many times I've seen people talk about we haven't had a great running back since Corey Dillon, right? You want that guy that can be like an every down back. I'd rather have a mixture of backs, especially when our running backs age in the NFL is about 3 to 4 seasons tops. You don't really see that many running backs last. I'd rather have a mixture because look at what happened. James White this year gets hurt, right? You have Rex Burkhead, a couple years ago gets hurt. You have to move on. It's always that next man up mentality. Look what happened with concussions this past week. Harris gets hurt or Stevenson gets hurt. It's the next man up. Brandon Bolden can take over. J.J. Taylor's right there. I just like having the fresh leg mentality that you can bring somebody in for 2 downs, bring somebody else in, then the next drive you can bring somebody else in, keep it fresh, wear down the defense on the other side. Belichick is king when it comes to something like that. So we got a really great taste of that this week because when you look at Mac Jones' stat line and you see that he went 11 and 18, he had 139 yards, he had a touchdown, he had an interception, he also had a fumble, but his stat line was very pedestrian.
Game manager, would you say?
The QBR is 27.2. But here's the thing. If you follow Spike King on Instagram, and I put it on Twitter as well, too, and I said in my pregame, I did a little pregame, sometimes I'm right, sometimes I'm wrong. I was actually pretty fucking spot on for this game, Cliff. I said in my pregame, hey, you know what? It's about the defense because they're playing against Sam Darnold, right? And the defense held them to 6 points. I said, I want to see the Panthers score under 10 points, and I want Mac Jones to game manage, and that's exactly what he did. He game managed for the victory. That's the spot that Mac Jones is in right now, guys. And that game that you saw, they got the victory. If you look at that stat line and say they won 24-6, you wouldn't believe it, but they did. They game managed to victory, just like the week before when they played the Chargers. It's a pick six. I had 2 pick sixes in a row, back-to-back weeks.
I love it.
Which is what actually made them win these games. And Mac Jones had a game manager. That's why I'm saying about going back to Odell. You can't really insert Odell into the. Mac Jones isn't that type of quarterback right now.
It just doesn't make sense.
It just doesn't make sense for the stat lines you're seeing in the Mac Jones what we're seeing now. Game managed victory. Again, shout out Jerry Thornton. Jerry Thornton was saying this, and you can attest to this, Cliff, because I'm a little younger. I'm a different generation.
Go ahead.
You guys are a different generation.
I got the grace to prove it.
You got the grace to prove it.
That's right.
You're a seasoned vet. You're
I
a
like
grizzled
to think.
vet.
Thank you.
That win,
sir.
Jerry Thornton said, was a 2001 type of victory
100%,
in that season.
100%.
Agree?
And you know what, ladies and gentlemen, it's okay to have those type of wins. I know we've been spoiled with these touchdowns and these high point games. Randy Moss is not coming back here. Odell. First of all, the comparison of the two hurts my heart.
Oh yeah.
Randy Moss was a GOAT in his own right. Odell hasn't put enough numbers, hasn't done the work to be called a GOAT. You know what it is? It's this young generation because he made the catch. Ever since the catch.
You want to talk about young generation?
Please do.
Odell Beckham has 14 million followers on Instagram.
Well,
because he was at the right place at the right time when he started coming up and he's got all these plays and social media grew as he was growing because he's 28 years old. So when he's 21, 22, a young buck in the league and he's playing for the Giants making those spectacular catches, that's when YouTube, Facebook, then Twitter, and then Instagram starts really blowing up.
Perfect storm.
He has more followers on Instagram than Tom Brady does.
That's amazing.
So, like, it's just that's how he's a social media influencer. He's an influencer is what he is. But when you look at his production, and I don't have the stats in front of me, and I didn't send them to you, but I can name them right off the head. I can look at it. Go to Pro Football Database. His catch percentage has gone down every single year. He started at 70%. He went down to 60%, and he's down to 50%. He only catches 50% of the balls that comes his way. His touchdown production has gone down. Now, he has gotten 1,000 yards a couple years ago in Cleveland. He can be a 1,000-yard receiver. You can look at him like, I feel like people are looking at Odell as a mega superstar that's going to come in and make an instant impact. And when you compare him to Randy Moss, you think he's going to catch 25 touchdowns in a season. He's not doing that. Can he move the chains? Absolutely. But I feel that Odell, we are talking too much about Odell, but I feel like Odell is just somebody that needs to be the megastar of a team, and he would not be a megastar in this team, and I don't want to believe in this. Well, Bill can change him, and you can fix him. No, it's not always going to work out. Chad Ochocinco came into this team and wasn't the same Chad Ochocinco, and he made it through the season, but he wasn't what you thought he was going to be type of deal. So there's no need for that. The team's they're looking good going forward. You just showed that little picture, J.C. Jackson. Stephon Gilmore got an interception.
He did awesome.
But J.C. Jackson kind of got the last laugh with the pick six, which I thought that was awesome. And, both their rights, they both got the showcase in this game.
And I'm not mad at that.
It worked out perfectly.
I'm not mad at that. And it goes back to just, again, what Jerry Thornton stated, is that this is an old school win. You had your defense provide almost what do they call it? Not a pitch out. What do you call it? I'm going to blank here, guys. I'm sorry. I haven't been sleeping. A shutout, basically.
Yeah.
It was basically a shutout. But to me, you know that I like the pick six. But this guy here, man, your guy, you know who I'm talking about, Mr. Sleeves, Mr. Red
Judon.
Sleeves.
Yeah. Another sack that makes 8 on the season so far for Matt Judon. Red Sleeves, there was Gabe out there, Patriots Gabe. I know you're out there. He actually had a really great tweet that had Judon being held on so many, it was 4 different images, and he was being held at some point. I should have sent it. So you give him a follow, Gabe_Pats. You follow him on Instagram, you'll see what I'm talking about. Judon actually liked it on Twitter because it was trending.
Nice.
And Judon knows he's been being held too many times this season.
All the time.
And that makes that he could already have 10, 11, 12 sacks this season. I give so much credit to the defense this game, not only because you had Sam Darnold's number, but because the turnovers from Mac Jones, whether it was the interception of Gilmore or the fumble, put Carolina in great field position twice.
Right.
That should be 14 points. You hold them to 6. You hold them to 2 field goals. And that's it for the game. Now, imagine those turnovers never happened, and Mac Jones played a cleaner game. The offensive line plays a cleaner game.
Yep.
You're probably looking at that shutout, right? That's what I was so happy about this team, was that this – a team like Carolina that's on the down right now, your defense has to showcase it.
Right.
You might have a couple games coming up later in the season when you play Jacksonville, when you play Miami, maybe even the Falcons. Like, not saying that the Falcons are a bad team, it's that the defense needs to showcase in those games. You should be feeling really good because it's the 3 phases of the game right now that's really killing it. Even someone like Gunnar Olszewski, shout out to him. I know he got hurt, a little concussion. But he had a great run back at one point to put the Pats right into Carolina territory. So everything's kind of clicking right now. Another defensive player that we probably don't have a picture of is Barmore, Christian Barmore, who's got 2 sacks on the season as a rookie.
He's a beast.
And post game, he was with Mac Jones in the bus, like they were together. So you're starting to see things starting to click for this team right now.
The camaraderie too.
It really is, because you're down in the trenches. They're watching the rest of the league and saying, wow, this is wide open.
Right.
They might be looking at the scoreboard and seeing Buffalo losing 9-6 to the Jacksonville Jaguars, beautiful. And you're leaving that game. You're coming home right now. They're undefeated on the road. They're 4-0. You're coming back home. You're going to go play against Cleveland. And they know that this is going to be another tough task coming up. And the chemistry's building up. It's time to start getting some wins at home this season.
I want to give you a little roller coaster ride, okay? We're doing amazingly well, right? But here's the problem. I have to ask this, even though there's nothing that we can do because it's revisionist history. Imagine if he still was here.
Yeah, so it kind of sucks. It sucks to know that, in Bill we trust.
Yes.
Hashtag in Bill we trust. But it sucks that it didn't work out for the rest of the season.
Right.
Because you could really fucking use Gilmore right
100%.
now. Like, you could really use
Gilmore. Because what was
Gilmore.
the return? What's the return for him? Something in 2 years, I think it is.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, it's just. I think Gilmore was holding out because he wanted something more extended, and the Patriots didn't want to give it to him. And now that's back-to-back games where he has an interception. I think he still would have been a playmaker.
Agreed.
I think it's one of these situations where Belichick gets cute sometimes. We don't know what happens in the background. I mean, all the pictures that came out, Crafts with Gilmore. Right. Afterwards, you got J.C. Jackson and Gilmore. A lot of the team still supports Gilmore in that role, and they don't see eye to eye. And maybe it's someone like Belichick that's trying to be cute. And hey, you know what? We don't need him. We can prove that we don't need him. Whether he's trying to give Jalen Mills, like, let's just roll with Mills for the rest of the season. Keep giving him the work, even if he keeps screwing up. Keep giving him the work. Get his confidence back up. Maybe he's looking at it that way. I keep repeating this over and over again because we are getting hyped up.
Say it again.
We're a transition year, guys.
Yep.
We still in a transition year, so I'm not too worried about it yet. I will be sweating in this offseason because you need to pay J.C. Jackson. Will he move? Belichick could be cute. Let's move on from J.C. We're not going to pay him that money. Now you're really fucked at cornerback.
I want to ask you a question. Do you think he is a number one cornerback, or do you think, unfortunately, like I think, that he's just a good cornerback that is part of a system?
J.C.'s a number one corner on most teams, I feel.
Really?
Like, if you got 32 teams in the NFL, I would smack J.C. right as like 15th overall in terms of cornerback. I think he's better than that, but he's probably better than a lot of other starting corners in the league. Look at Malcolm Butler. He got paid.
Yep.
If Malcolm Butler can get paid the way he got paid, I think J.C. Jackson deserves to get paid even more than what he gets paid, and a team will overpay. A team will completely overpay for J.C. I'm telling everybody at home about J.C. Jackson. The guy is going to secure his bag. He is not taking any sort of hometown discount in New England.
No.
He won a Super Bowl ring.
Yep.
He's made a name for himself. He took the risk this year as a restricted free agent.
And what is it,
hold
22 interceptions so far?
Something like that.
Yeah,
you have it right there.
yeah,
It's something like that. He changed his name on Instagram today to Mr. INT.
No.
Mr.
Oh, that's
INT.
awesome. Oh,
so
my God.
he's accepting that, and he's It reminds me of someone named Asante Samuel, who has changed his name to Mr. Pick Six, because I think Samuel has one of the most pick sixes or something at the time when he played in the league. That's what J.C. Jackson's starting to become.
That's
now
awesome.
J.C. is Mr. INT. What is he going to do? He's going to go trademark that. He's going to go sell it on shirts. You're going to buy the hoodies. You're going to buy the shirts. You're going to buy into it. And then he's going to get paid by like Miami or something,
Right.
get overpaid. And that's that. So it's great that Belichick's looking at it this way in terms of, hey, we're going to get the most bang out of our buck this year out of him. Maybe he thought he wasn't going to get that out of Gilmore.
Yeah.
And we'll see how the rest of the year goes.
Right.
Again, we talked about this. We're going to have to Monday morning cornerback it,
Yep.
not quarterback. We'll
There you go.
cornerback it for the rest of the season on how Gilmore goes for the rest of the way. But you're going to get the best out of JC going forward. But again, doesn't matter. The Pats win. It's funny because we talked about it. I think I even tweeted something or in the Pats chat group that I'm in and said, Stephon Gilmore gets an interception, pick six, he runs to the house, and they're losing 34-10. Like, you know what I mean? Like, even if Gilmore ran that back to the house, they still would have lost they would have lost 24-10. It would have been something like that.
But you know what? It's all right, because I want to give first, let's circle back. Let's give a little shout-out to Patriot Nations, because it looks like they're back. It looks like they're back. Ladies and gentlemen, boys
Pats
and girls.
Nation has showed up in full force. Pats Nation, maybe you guys sold your tickets to the Tampa Bay game, you season ticket holders, or the Dallas game made your money. But let me talk to you guys right now.
Go ahead.
Let me talk to all you Pats Nation out there. This upcoming Sunday, the 1 o'clock game against Cleveland, it is so important to be loud. We need Gillette Stadium rocking. Cliff, we are so used to Gillette Stadium rocking in January, because in November, don't worry about it. The Pats are going to finish with 11, 12, 13, 14 wins. These regular season games don't matter. Every game matters so much going forward for the standings. That's when we need you out there. We need you to be in full force out there, Pats Nation. We need you to show up this Sunday and be loud. We need you to be loud when Baker Mayfield's out there so we can't hear a goddamn thing on the field.
That's right.
I know we can do that, and that's what's exciting, is that we're in a spot where you see this team trending upwards. We need that support out there from Pats Nation. If we can show up in full force this upcoming Sunday, because guess what, guys? Home field advantage does not exist for the New England Patriots right now.
No.
They're I believe they're 1-3 at home right now, right? Or something like that, or whatever it might be. So the home field advantage has not existed at Gillette Stadium. And some people say Gillette Stadium is one of the most silent crowds during the regular season. It's time to flip the switch and get the fans excited. You got to get excited. You got to be out there. You got to be rocking, because we got Cleveland at home. We got Tennessee at home. We got Buffalo later at home.
Right.
We need you guys to be out there in full force on this Sunday, 1 o'clock. Let's prove it to them.
I'm watching your Instagram, and I see that people are excited. And this is all over the country, people sending you footage and you having me taking a look at it. I think it's going to come back. I think it's going to come back. But, you know, as with everything, we got to be realistic with what we need to look at. So what are your points? What do you think the Patriots, what's their game plan? Because we know that Belichick likes to take at least one option away. Is it going to be the quarterback? Is it going to be, hey, we're going to watch out because do they still have both Chubbs and?
Chubb played last week. I mean, so listen, Cleveland threw up 46 points on Cincinnati.
Yeah.
And I mean, we talked about the Jets game a couple weeks ago. It's just the Jets, right? and the Jets, you score 54 on them or whatever it was. Yeah, 54. So it's hard to score 50 points. I mean, 46 points on Cincinnati when Cincinnati was just the number 1 team a couple weeks ago. We'll talk about it in a little bit. But the fact is that they scored 46. Baker Mayfield did not touch the field until like the end of the first quarter because it was a pick six. Then Cincinnati drove down. They scored. They did a long drive. And all of a sudden they went to high gear. You got to take the run game away. You got to take the – so this is another great test coming up for the New England Patriots defense in terms of the run. Let Baker throw. I feel like that you can hold it down on him. They don't have Odell Beckham, so you don't have to worry about that. You just got to worry about, say, with someone like Jarvis Landry. I know Peoples-Jones had a touchdown, a long touchdown. It was like a 60, 70-yard as well. I feel like someone like Belichick kind of has like Baker's number already, and I think he can prove it again. They played well against them in 2019 when he came here. I just feel like this defense can be able to hold it.
I want to make a prediction here. I think this guy's going to have 3 sacks.
3 sacks.
3.
Three sacks.
He's going to spy this motherfucker all game long.
Let me tell you something. Those red sleeves, right? We saw it when we saw it at the game with the Greats, and that one guy was wearing it, right? This upcoming Sunday, it's going to be like 45 degrees out. That's going to be the high. It's going to be a little chilly out there. You got to wear it. It's hoodie weather.
It's hoodie season, baby.
It's hoodie season. Go grab a Matt Judon jersey. Make sure you got red sleeves underneath. I want to see those red sleeves in the stands this upcoming. He deserves it 100,000%.
Yes,
I want those jerseys flying off the shelves this upcoming Sunday. I want you wearing those red sleeves. I want to see it all over Gillette Stadium because that's something that's awesome to buy into this year.
It sounds like there's a mini rant coming out of you right now because of Pats Nation. I need you to do one more thing for me, right? You have the people following you. Why? You've introduced a Big Mac meal for people to go out there and get their Macs. This is what I'm not seeing, though, okay? What I'm not seeing is I'm not seeing the younger generation show support for the Patriots outside of the Big Mac, sir. So it's awesome. It's awesome that, yes, they're listening to you. Yes, Mac Jones, he's doing his thing. He's managing the games. But I just want to see genuine fans. I want to see the Patriots win another defensive game.
Yeah.
We all want to eat our Big Macs, but I just want a regular old-school W. So I need you to speak to them out there. I need you to rant. Do your thing.
Well, my thing is, man, like, we all support Mac Jones. I get it. But there's 3 phases to the game.
Boom.
And I feel that with Mac Jones is going to be dubbed the leader. He's going to be your franchise guy. But this year, you're getting to see so much more that makes these teams win. And like I said earlier, it was a 2001 type of win.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we're seeing. Crazy. 20 years later, we get to kind of relive the 2001 season.
Hey.
We're kind of reliving it a little bit.
I'm here for it.
But the younger generation at the time in 2001, I'm 30 now, so I'm 10 years old. You don't really get to understand the game the way it is, right?
Right.
You don't get to understand the situation that's going around. We get to relive it a little bit. Guys like these defensive players deserve so much love. The ones that are like Barmore, like I said, or Judon.
So true.
Dude, Jake Bailey. Give some love to him because he pinned down Carolina on the 5.
He's a weapon.
Like he's another weapon that deserves so much love. It's actually fun, Cliff, when you go to training camp or you go to the games and you see some of the unique jerseys because we're so used to seeing the number 12s, the number 11s, and the number 87s. Now there's just such a mix out there. Pats Nation can have one player that they like that's not Mac Jones. There's not that major franchise guy. Guys, just go out there, keep supporting all these players out there because this really is showing that it takes all 53 men to win every single game. It's not going to take one individual. As we just saw this last game, it's not one individual, number 10, that's going to win you these games. It's going to take every single person to keep making those plays out there. I love what we're seeing right now. But the thing is, got to keep it moving. Got to keep it going forward. Got to keep getting the wins each and every single week. You have a tough game coming up against Cleveland. Then you're on a short week against Atlanta. You got 10 days rest. But guess what? You're playing the Tennessee Titans. Then guess who you play after that? The Buffalo Bills. So it's not easy in this upcoming stretch. But, man, Cliff, if they can go 3-1 in the next 4 games, you have something going.
I'm excited, man. And ladies and gentlemen, a little thing I used to teach my kids when I coach Pop Warner, there's no I in team. There's no I in team.
No, there's not.
All right, so let's get it together, man. Let's figure it out. We are a team. A W is a W. A W is a W. So, I think it's about that time, man, because you're getting the people excited. I know I'm excited. I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't a believer at first, but there seems to be, dare I say it, a path.
There is a wave. We're riding.
We're riding the wave.
There's a wave.
I'm gonna put this up.
There is
Explain
a
it to the
wave.
people, please.
Okay. Here is our current playoff picture in the AFC. Now you might see Pittsburgh. They're 4-3. We're filming this on a Monday night. They just won tonight, so they're 5-3. They're going to stay ahead of New England.
Mm-hmm.
The season ended tonight. New England slides in as the 7th seed. New England was down and out a little bit a couple weeks ago, but things have changed so much. So when you see down here and you see the Cincinnati, I got to point this way. When you see the Cincinnati Bengals, they were the number 1 seed a couple weeks ago. And we were looking at them. I think they were 5-2 at the time, right? So now they've slid all the way down here. Denver started the season 3-0. They just beat Dallas. They smoked them, but they're sitting there at 5-4. You got the Colts. They're still looming around there, 4-5. Look, and you're playing the Colts later on. So just look at this. You got Kansas City. They're frauds. Kansas City should not be 5-4.
They are frauds.
Now you got Cleveland. So Cleveland's 5-4. It's just so open right now. So if the season ended today, you'd end up playing Baltimore. You play Baltimore in the division. So the next couple weeks, you end up you just beat the Chargers, right? The Chargers are sitting right there at 5-3. But you have the Tennessee Titans coming up in a couple weeks. You have Cleveland right there. So if you beat Cleveland this upcoming Sunday, you own the tiebreaker over them. Then all of a sudden you play Atlanta, then you play Tennessee. You can try to take off the top dog up there at 7-2. Maybe by that time, maybe they're going to be 8-3, right? You can take the top dog down right up there, and they don't have Derrick Henry. They look good though. They're coached well. Yeah. They're coached well.
Remember who the coach is?
Vrabel.
Thank you.
And guess what? Vrabel got a win already over Belichick. And sometimes they struggled a couple of years ago too. They play in Tennessee, they lose. So Tennessee's kind of had the Patriots number. Another tough game. We'll talk about that in a couple of weeks. We'll get to that when the time comes. Then all of a sudden, Buffalo. You're right there. You're tied with them. Same amount of wins. Yep. They have a half a game up on you right now. But when we got the Monday night game coming up, Cliff, that Monday night game might dictate whether you're going to the Super Bowl or not this year. Super Bowl talk already.
Dare you say this? This guy's going crazy over here, ladies and gentlemen.
Super Bowl talk, yes. Because the way that they're trending, they're 4-1 in their last 5 games. If you beat Cleveland, you go down to Atlanta and you beat Atlanta. And you come back home after 10 days rest and you beat the Tennessee Titans and you win the next 3. You're going to be feeling pretty fucking good heading into Monday Night Football in Buffalo. And if you can beat the Buffalo Bills in Buffalo, Monday Night Football on national television and run the table into the bye week, this New England Patriots team should win the division, and they should be in Super Bowl contending talk.
Look at it, ladies and gentlemen.
They should be able to win and be in the AFC title game, and anything can happen.
I'm looking at it. I'm starting to be. I don't want to be the yes man to you. You know what I mean? I wasn't a believer at first. I was just like, yeah, this guy's crazy. Too many Big Macs. Too much of that special sauce that McDonald's puts in there. But you're proving it. You're proving a case.
But here's the thing. It's such a thin line right now because it's kind of like college football. Every single week is so important in terms of the rankings when you want to be in the college football playoffs, right? That's what this is right now because you lose to Cleveland.
Right.
You lose to, say, a Falcons. You say you go 1-2 over the next 3 games. You're going to be pushed down now. And now you really have to start playing catch up towards the end of the season. You don't want to do that. The timing is just working out in both ways. And look at the Bills. We came in here that a couple weeks ago. The Buffalo Bills got stopped in the goal line. And they lose to the Tennessee Titans. Then all of a sudden they go into their bye week. They come in the next week. They play Miami. And they kind of look flat against Miami. Then they play really flat against Jacksonville.
Can we talk about that?
That's an embarrassment. If you are the Buffalo Bills and you're in the AFC title game last year and you're the AFC East champions and a couple weeks ago, I'm talking to GRD, and I said, there's no powerhouse in the AFC. I said that to him. He goes, I think the Buffalo Bills are. And I said, I think the Buffalo Bills are frauds. And they just showed it because the way you played and only scored 6 points, and you lose the game 9-6 to the 1-win Jacksonville Jaguars, who do not look good at all. They're booty cheeks. The fact is that the Buffalo Bills lose that game shows that there's a crack in their foundation. And it shows that they have been exposed, and they're another one of those one and done. I made it to the AFC title game, and I'm out the next season. And I think that they're going to slowly start crumbling over the next couple weeks. Hell, I think the the New York Jets have a shot against them this
Whoa.
week coming up, and we'll talk about it in a little bit.
Wait a minute. You're losing your mind there.
I know, but
The Jets?
The Jets. The New York Jets that just got stomped on Thursday Night Football.
Wait a minute. J-E-T. Really? Them guys?
Trust Mike White. I trust Mike White. If he didn't get hurt that last game on Thursday night, I think I trust Mike White. The same New York Jets team that beat a Cincinnati Bengals team when they're up on the up and up.
Yep.
The same team. Those, you see that 7-2 team?
Yep.
That was the Tennessee Titans. You know one of those losses came to? It came to the New York Jets. The New York Jets, they can prove something. Their 2 wins were against good teams.
Okay.
But they also get demolished. You just don't know what Jets team's going to show up. But it's a divisional game. Divisional games are usually tough. They play each other tough, and it's in New York. Maybe those New York Jets fans will actually wake up and show up. It'll be interesting. It'll be very interesting.
It will
Can
be
you believe that we have to root for the New York Jets this
Yes,
week?
I know.
Like,
well,
it's
can we
disgusting,
not talk about it too much? Don't put it out there in the air. I don't want them getting excited.
I mean, it's just so wide open. It's exciting. But again, you as the fan base out there need to be excited every single week going forward. Edge of your seat. I keep promoting it. I keep talking about it. I keep preaching it from the rooftops.
Spike, I think they're interested. I'm looking at some stats here. You know, I like the stats. I got people liking. We got 9 people on YouTube. We got 4 people on Facebook. Instagram's doing his numbers. I'm excited.
Yeah,
we got the people excited.
I think people are excited, and again, you just got to keep winning. You got to keep pushing forward. It takes, if you 1 or 2 losses can really slip you down. Mm-hmm. So I like that they're just on this edge right now of having to play pretty good fucking football going forward, and I'm sure Bill's loving the transition. Again, they're 5 wins. Hey, Vegas had them at 7.5 wins this season.
Right.
They're only 3 games away from breaking that and being over this year. So I think that's such a plus. Again, I think the way the team's set up, and I'll keep saying it every single week, it's an absolute failure if they don't get into the playoffs. They don't have to win the division, but it's an absolute failure if they don't get into playoffs.
Here's another question I have for you. Do we got to at least win a game?
What do you mean?
Meaning, I know you're talking Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Let's say we get into the playoffs.
Yeah. Oh, so once you get into the playoffs, it's just open. It's open. You don't have to win a game.
I think they need to win a game.
It depends on who you're playing then.
So
if you're playing the LA Chargers, you should win. If you're playing like the Cleveland Browns, you should win.
If you're
playing the Baltimore Ravens that you haven't seen yet this season,
that might be tough.
You haven't seen a team like that different, right? If you're playing the Titans, and you beat the Titans, you should win. Like it's like if you're playing a team that you already won against, you have to win against them again in the playoffs. Okay. I kind of hope that how this goes. I hope somehow, some way with seeding that we see. If it's possible, it's got to be possible. I want to see Buffalo versus New England in the AFC title game. That's kind of the type of game I want to see. I want to see something super exciting where Buffalo could be the favorites in that game. I don't know how it's going to work out. There's still a long way away, but that's like the AFC title game I want to see. I want to see something that brings the New York-Boston rival, kinda.
You want your heart to pump a little bit?
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm okay with that. And
give them a 3rd game in the season somehow to play each other.
Yeah.
I want to see something like that in the playoffs because you know that Buffalo, they should turn it around. There's a crack in the foundation. They're vulnerable. They should be in the playoffs. That's a team that should be in the playoffs. They should make it there. They should be able to go there. On the flip side, New England, they might end up being the underdog in that game. It would be great to go and beat Buffalo, whether it's in Buffalo or – I just want that awesome divisional matchup because, Cliff, what we've seen for the last 20-some-odd years is that it's been Buffalo, Miami, and New York are usually down in the dumps. We've seen a couple of times where the New York Jets make the playoffs, they beat you, right? You know, that happened in 2010, 2011, or 2009, 2010, I'm sorry. But I want to see that right now with this current Buffalo team, this current New England team, and I want to see them match up in the AFC title game.
I'm not mad at that.
No, I think, you know what? If at that time, if you lose to Buffalo, you just tip your cap, okay? But if you beat Buffalo and you can kind of put them down, it's just another like little
effect.
Yeah, it feels so good.
Yeah.
It feels so good. We're already talking Super Bowls and AFC title games. We're getting way too ahead of ourselves.
But you know what? Isn't it nice that actually we can have these type of conversations? Because we weren't thinking that last year.
It's been 2 years since we've been able to do that. And like I look back in 2019, they started the season 8-0, and you look at the New England Patriots, you knew they played a lot of fraud teams.
Right.
Like, you knew that team didn't really have it. Then you go into Baltimore, you lose against Baltimore. I think that year they only beat one team over 500, and it was the Bills at home. But they lost the Eagles. They won against the Eagles on the road, and I remember being at the game, leaving the stadium, and be like, dude, this team is flat. Like, I don't think they have what it takes. Right now, there's excitement because this team was scheduled to only have 7.5 wins, right? If you go over that, all right, to cherry on top, it's a Big Mac on top, right?
Yep.
Then all of a sudden, hey, you get in the playoffs, it's another Big Mac on top. You're saying, hey, let's try to win a game. Imagine just running the table in the playoffs. That they shouldn't be in that spot when we know that this is a rookie transition year and we still have to build off of it.
Question for you. We didn't even plan for this, but that's okay. What if, by the grace, I believe in God, by the grace of God, that Bill is able to bring the kid, and I ain't saying Bill, but the Patriots, is able to go to the Super Bowl?
2001. That's like what it is. I mean,
True.
we talked about this a couple weeks ago probably, and it's Bill has when he took over the team in 2000, he went to Kraft and said, this is our 4-year plan. This is how we're going to get to the Super Bowl in 4 years. And they got to it in the second year. So if you look at it, we always look at things, hindsight's 2020.
Hindsight 2020. Yep.
So we look at last year. Last year was 2000. Last year was 5-11. In 2000, they went 7-9 last year, and you had Cam Newton and Drew Bledsoe, right? Maybe a little comparison there, right? The next year, even though Brady wasn't a rookie, but Brady played that 2000 season and was the practice squad guy or the backup. Mac Jones is the rookie, but he's caught up enough to be at the same speed of Tom Brady was in 2001. Like, they're the same guy, pretty much. Without being the 6th round, he's the 1st round. They caught up, right? You're going through the same fucking motions right now. And doesn't history repeat itself? We always say that history repeats itself. How funny that is. How funny would that be?
So
ironic that they go and march into the Super Bowl and they win, and you have 20 years later, it's the same kind of transition.
So with you saying history could repeat itself, are you saying we might have another Tom Brady in our hands?
No one's ever going to be Tom Brady. We have a Mac Jones on our hands.
Thank you. Thank you. And I purposely set you up to say that because it's getting crazy, some of the things that I'm reading out there, man.
Tom Brady is just so special. The fact that he, comes off a 2007 season, then tears his ACL and has a completely another career after that, and he's having 3rd career right now. I don't think anyone's going to have the longevity as Tom Brady. I mean, if Tom Brady retired in 2008 and say that was done, his injury's over, he still would have been in the Hall of Fame. He still won a championship 3 out of 4. Would he be the greatest of all time? No, unless they won and went 19-0 that year. I think that would have set him up.
Yeah.
But he's still hungry. He's just got a different mentality. I think Mac Jones can be set up for success to win maybe 2 Super Bowls. You know what I mean? But again, it's a team effort. So much credit needs to be given right now to Bill Belichick.
And
because Belichick has been able to now retool and recraft this team that, yes, there are still flaws. There are still questions out there. But over the next couple years, he's going to be able to insert X player in here. I say this, right?
Yep.
Say the defense. Say there's a free agent defensive player out there, and they're saying, wow, this Patriots team looks pretty good. This team looks well coached.
Going over there.
I might want to actually go play in New England right now.
Yeah.
And Belichick hasn't been afraid to have that checkbook open this past year and have to pay people to get here. He needs to reestablish the culture here that, hey, you want to take pay cuts again to play here. Hey, you want to take a little salary bump down to play here. I think he's going to be able to do that over the next 2 years.
If he wins I think if he gets close.
If he gets close. But I mean, the fact is that you can be on the expressway right now and go into a Super Bowl or even AFC title game in that first real year with a rookie. That's going to open up so many eyeballs, and everyone's just going to be crying again. It's again, how crazy is it, Cliff, that we were on the show a couple weeks ago and you say, who's coaching? Who's doing the coaching?
That was
here?
my next question. You stole it.
And
Who is coaching now? You think Bill took over?
I mean, I think that we said this. Mac grabbed the brass ring.
Yep.
The offense looks a lot better. He looks a little bit more comfortable game managing. Belichick can take his eyes away from the offense, trust that McDaniels and Mac Jones and maybe even Hoyer, they're all kind of on the same page. Let them do it. Let me refocus back on defense, because I'm telling you, Belichick taking over this defense, you can tell that he's just all eyes are on what he's looking that way in special teams.
Well, I'm glad because you know what? One, we deserve it. The team deserves it. And you know what? For the development of Mac Jones, he deserves it.
Yeah.
He deserves a defense that's going to hold him down.
And they're still putting him in spots that, they don't want to, you got to be cautious with Mac Jones going forward. They're not just going to let him air it out and this and that. Game manage him. Keep his confidence there.
Yep.
Don't put him in spots to make him screw up. We talk about the 4th and 1s and not going for it and maybe punting it away. Belichick trusts his punter to get the other team pinned down, where you
The
can trust your
weapon.
defense
Right.
to then possibly get a turnover or a safety, whatever it might be, or have them punt it back to you. So then your return man gets you closer. You know, it's
That's right.
a game. It's a game back and forth, guys.
This is
And-
so
and I
old school,
like,
man. It's funny. It's so
awesome,
funny.
but that's what Belichick loves. Belichick loves old school football, and
Yeah.
you can bring it in time to time. Yes, the game evolves.
It works.
The game always evolves.
It-
Players are evolving, athletes are evolving, but the game is still played the same way as it used to be. I
That's
know there's
right.
more flags nowadays. I know it's more of an offensive passing league, and I get that, but there's still certain keys to the game where you can have that back and forth type of punting, and special teams mean something to you, especially at the start of the game where you're feeling things out. You want to see how they're adjusting. You want to see how things go. So it's great. It's great to see that Belichick is. I bet, and Belichick, the way these post games have been going, he's having fun.
He is having
He's having
fun.
fun again.
Yeah.
Like, he's having fun as a coach.
You know
as
what
a
it is?
coach, he's bringing that back now.
I think too, the group of people are not as young as a lot of of these other NFL teams, but I think it's a young group where they're listening. Not too many vets. You're going to start seeing a lot of our vets go away, but it's a group that he's basically. It's a new crop. New crop. All right, I'm going to need you to pick up your phone.
I got it right here.
It's time to make some money.
It's time to make money.
You ready?
I haven't been making much money lately.
Hey,
But
people
if you take
mistakes
some
are
of these
right.
picks on Monday nights, hey, the lines always change. Like Aaron Rodgers, which we'll get into it a little bit later.
Yes, we will.
It was like plus 125 against Kansas City, and then when Love went in there, was like plus 250 or 300. So things change. Right now, the line right here for New England is minus 2.5 against Cleveland. Last week they covered. New England was minus 3. You take New England at home, minus 2.5. I would take that easily all day. New England Patriots. I'm never gonna pick against them. If they were losing a couple games like differently right now, I'd pick against them. Take New England at home again. You at home. Show up this Sunday, 1 o'clock, Foxborough, Gillette Stadium. Get loud, get excited. The Patriots win by double.
I'm gonna give you a clap for that one, man. He deserves a clap. You did a little
The
golf
live
clap.
studio
man.
audience in here.
That's right, baby. All right, so now, how about these guys? This is a tough one here for
All
me.
right, so Buffalo at New York Jets. Again, a couple weeks ago, after the bye week, I had this game up here for Buffalo. I said, pick Miami the points. Miami almost covered. It was a garbage time kind of touchdown. Last week, Buffalo Bills lost straight up to Jacksonville. Imagine betting Jacksonville and winning that one. I like the Jets plus 13 right now. Again, cracking the foundation for Buffalo. Now, this could be a Buffalo turnaround game that Buffalo should be winning like 50-10 or whatever it might be. But I don't know. I just feel like this Jets team, you don't know which team's going to show up. If Mike White is actually healthy for this game and gets to play the entire time, I think that if Mike White was healthy against the Colts, they had a legitimate shot to at least cover the spread. That's what I'm looking at, covering the spread here. I take the Jets plus 13.
Jets.
Can't believe
Yuck,
we're rooting for them this week.
yuck. Ugh, let's move on.
Tampa Bay at Washington football team. Tom Brady is coming off the bye week. Maybe Tom Brady might have Odell Beckham by later this week. Who knows? Maybe they were watching the games this week. I don't know. Tampa Bay minus 9.5. Last year, Tampa Bay had you going to Washington. The Washington football team. Remember the 3 road games that Tom Brady had to play? Well, that was the first one.
Yep.
And Washington football team held their own against Tom Brady last year. Not saying it's revenge because Tampa Bay won, but Brady's feeling good. He might be a little rusty to start the game. You might get a little bit. You might be sweating it. Maybe Tampa Bay's only up 3 points at halftime. They'll blow them out in the second half. And I think Rob Gronkowski might be back. I don't know if he's going to be. He's really hurting. I don't know if he's going to be how he's feeling off the bye. I'm waiting to see what happened with Antonio Brown as well too. But they should be all cylinders ready to go. Tampa Bay, take them.
Let's go. How about these guys?
So Arizona is the real fucking deal. The fact that DeAndre Hopkins and Kyler Murray were both out.
That was
last
a great
week,
game.
and they still smoked San Francisco.
That was a great game.
They still smoked San Francisco at the time. Arizona is now minus 10 right now because they think that Murray and Hopkins are going to play. Carolina, look at the way they just played. Now they have to go into Arizona, travel across the country. Sam Darnold is on his way down right now. I think Arizona should win this game soundly, probably like 35 to like 10. I like that.
All right. How about Mr. Love?
So Philly at Denver. So Denver's weird. They're coming off a humongous win against the Dallas Cowboys. They just caught Dallas maybe on an off day. Philly's coming off a little heartbreaking loss against the Bolt Gods Chargers. The Chargers won by a field goal. I look at Philly as like a sneaky win here. I mean, the NFL season's been so wild. Do you think Denver should easily handle Philly? I'll take Philly. Philly is a great fan base for traveling. I think they'll be at Mile High. They'll be showcasing themselves out there. And this is a win, kind of a must-win for Philly to keep some of their hopes alive for the rest of the season going forward. Again, too, you know, if you're looking as a Philadelphia Eagles fan out there and just let's get ahead of ourselves right now for the NFL draft, Philly's in a great spot because they own the Miami Dolphins pick, which is a top 5 pick. Right now, theirs is a top 5 pick as well, too. And then I believe they have another pick later on as well. So I think they have, from Indianapolis because of Carson Wentz.
Do you think
they
they're
have
going
3
to move from
picks
Tua?
in the first round? So
Do you think they're going to move away from Tua already?
Well, Miami?
Yeah.
Well, so,
or
yeah,
are they going to
yeah,
go to Deshaun
so-
Watson?
So, like, it's just interesting what happens because, like, Deshaun Watson, let's talk about Philly right here. Deshaun Watson's been linked to him, and I think they want to move on from Jalen Hurts, and I think Jalen Hurts can still prove some value somewhere in a trade piece. But Philadelphia could be set up to make a major splash this offseason coming up.
That's interesting. Very interesting that they're already like
ready
just
to
the
move
league
on
is
from him.
it's so fast. It's just unbelievable. But you know what? It is the NFL. How about these guys?
So this is the game of the week right here. The AFC West is just knotted up right now. 5-3, 5-3, 5-4, 5-4. Kansas City are frauds. Like they should have lost to the Giants. All of a sudden, they get a Aaron Rodgers list. Say that a bunch of times fast. And they go against Jordan Love, who Jordan Love was absolute crap. Las Vegas, wow, they have been going down the gutter these last few weeks in terms of what's happening around their team between the Henry Ruggs situation.
Yeah.
They had their former first round cornerback just kicked off the team as well too for he was some TikTok or whatever it was in terms of holding guns. Derek Carr, Derek Carr was a little down and out about it. They almost beat the Giants. They just made a couple of mistakes, could not finish in the red zone. I sneakily pay attention to the Raiders. Shout out Dan Jolly. I know we talk about it almost every day about the Raiders. I like paying attention to them. They just added Deshaun Jackson now to kind of get that deep threat back to try to make up for Henry Ruggs. So at least they made a move. This right now, if you're the Raiders and you're a Raiders fan, this is the game that you need to beat Kansas City. And the Raiders the last couple of years have played Kansas City very well. It's great to see this Sunday night game because again, if you're Kansas City, you win this game, you're kind of flipping it around and saying, all right, we can make our run now. The AFC's wide open. Las Vegas can really put Kansas City down and say, no, we're going to control the division. So this is going to be a great game to watch or any fan. Take Vegas at home.
Hoping Vegas wins, honestly.
Yeah, absolutely. Always root against Kansas City.
Yeah.
It's a trend if you're watching this.
Yeah, I can't stand them. They suck. Yeah. All right. So, first of all, real quick question for you.
Yeah.
Don't you think Deshaun Watson, Jackson, is just a one-catch pony guy?
Deshaun Jackson?
Yeah.
I mean, you
won a game, two a game, if that.
Okay,
then he's
but
hurt.
the way that the Car's looking at it and the Raiders are looking at it is like you just need that deep threat that can open up the field. That's what Ruggs was for them.
Yeah.
They don't have a receiver like that. They can't do it. So like Zay Jones, Carr tries to throw it up to him. It's just not the same. It's not the same. You just need that one guy. And yeah, if he makes 1 or 2 plays a game, that's fine with them. But I mean, they're out of the Odell conversation now.
Yeah,
they're not
they
going
don't need
after
that.
Odell,
They
looked
deal
at
with
G-Jax. They got him. Good signing for them.
Shouldn't even deal with that. All right. So right now we're going to talk about something that's going to piss me off as soon as I find my little thing here. Simply because of one thing. Why are the Celtics, and please explain this to me. Please explain this to me. Why in the world are our Boston Celtics discussing trading an all-star again? Why Jaylen Brown? I know he's hurt. I know they're not playing well together. To me, I'm going to blame the coach. Dear coach, what are you drawing up? You have two superstar. I know you hate Marcus Smart. So that's also part of the show as well. But I'll go back. Let me answer the Marcus Smart thing.
All right.
He's a point guard that plays heavy defense, but for whatever reason, because we don't remember I said this, I think it was last week, we don't have real perimeter shooters, he feels the need to shoot.
Yeah.
And then goes 0 for 15. You have Jaylen Brown, who plays offense and defense, will take it to the hole. He's been taking it to the hole since day one, but he's getting hurt here and there. And then you have Allen Houston, a.k.a. Jason Tatum. For those that don't know, Allen Houston is a guy, very gifted guy, played for the New York Knicks, just really didn't care. Got his points and got his money, and we lose. That's how I see Jason Tatum.
His heart's not in it.
No,
his heart's not in it. And in that Dallas game, just going back to it, we'll backtrack a couple games here.
Mm-hmm.
The Celtics start 2-5, whatever it was. They have a players-only meeting. Marcus Smart talks a bunch of bullshit to try to be the leader. Then they beat the Heat, and they beat them soundly, right? And the Heat at the time are on a little run.
Yeah,
then you
6-1.
Then you go to Orlando. You win the Orlando. Now you got 2 games in a row. But then all of a sudden you start hearing what's truly being said. And now the team's starting to come apart a little bit, especially after that Dallas loss, which, by the way, they were losing big time right away.
Right.
They crawled right back into that game, and you felt like, okay, maybe this team has something.
Mm-hmm.
And just Marcus Smart making a boneheaded kind of foul, which, again, so here's the thing. I was driving home when I was listening to the game, and they said on radio that they said, hey, they have a foul to give. They give the foul, and then all of a sudden the shot clock resets.
Yep.
And credit to Luka. Luka magic, man. The way he hit that shot.
He's
he had
unreal.
3 guys right there, one in his face.
Luka's the shit.
And Luka just drills it again on the Boston Celtics like that. And it's a heartbreaking. It's a heartbreaking loss. But after a heartbreaking loss, lips start getting loose. And you start hearing Jason Tatum kind of talk about Marcus Smart. And was kind of throwing Marcus Smart down. That's kind of like that because guess what? It's a little leadership right there. Because Jason Tatum should be above Marcus Smart when it comes to leadership, right?
100%.
Then you got Udoka kind of throwing Marcus Smart under the bus, saying, "Well, I never called that foul. I never called that play." So he kind of puts Marcus, trying to put more on Marcus Smart. Hey, you want to be the leader? Let's start throwing things your way and start making that a little bit messy for you.
Mm-hmm.
They have 3 days off. They're going to play on Wednesday. It's going to be interesting to see how the team responds this way, but now you don't have Brown for about a week or 2. It could be possibly longer than that.
Yep.
I think we're going to start seeing a lot of these rough patches here and there. They're going to, again, it's a wave, right?
Yep.
Right. You ride the wave with the Boston
Ride
Celtics
the wave.
this year, but you're going to have these up games like the Heat in Orlando. Then you're going to have a down game like Dallas, and maybe they lose Wednesday at home, and then all of a sudden you might win 2, and then you lose 2 and win 2, lose 2, or you go on these bad stretches, and this team is going to be very bipolar this season. Because you're going to, when you're winning, you're having fun. When you're losing, this team seems like everything's about to fall apart. The world's ending. It's crazy. That's what the Boston Celtics feel like.
Yep.
It feels like in terms of losing, when they lose a game like Dallas, afterwards it felt like the team was about to break up.
Yeah. I felt like they owed me money because I wasted my time watching them. Like, I hate that. But let me ask you a question. Again, you're the GM. Who would you cut first? Or not cut, but who would you trade first? Marcus Smart is not one of the answers. Jason Tatum or Jaylen Brown?
Tatum. I mean, we talked about this. We're pro Brown podcast. We're pro Brown show. I mean, Jason Tatum just does not play with his heart. I think more fans are starting to open their eyes to it.
Yeah.
And I think that they're starting to see it. And again, there's enough time to turn the narrative. There's enough time to fix it. Yeah. There's enough time for Jason Tatum to grab it.
If he wants to, right?
If he wants to. But there's enough time Jason Tatum can grab the basketballs.
Yeah.
Grab life by the basketballs and take over. That's what people just want to see. But I feel like it's just another one of these players that was rushed into stardom, that he kind of knows his value and his money. And he knows that he's money. He knows that he can leave the Boston Celtics and people will still support him. He still has his support no matter where he goes. Jaylen Brown doesn't really have that type of stardom, and nor does he want that kind of stardom. But he plays physical. Yeah, like that's what he is.
That's more of a green team player.
It is
old school physicality.
Isn't it crazy that they invested so much into Jason Tatum?
Yeah,
and
the shiny car.
It should have been Jaylen Brown the entire time. We're really starting to see the true colors right now of it. And here's the thing: it's tough. How long do you hold on to Tatum? Or how long do you hold on to this Boston Celtics team before you just blow it up?
Yep.
Do you blow up the team but keep Brown and Tatum but try to add more pieces around it? It's like, how many times can you put the Band-Aid on the Boston Celtics?
They've been doing this for how long? I need you to ask your friends. You know who I'm talking about, and I want them to start talking about it. Did the Celtics, are they putting their eggs in the wrong basket? Because like you said, the fans are. They see Tatum as the shiny guy. He came out just as a shooter. I think it's
so.
the
I
wrong
like
guy.
that eggs in the wrong basket because it's like, okay, let's invest our time into Isaiah Thomas. And Isaiah Thomas, although a fan favorite, Isaiah Thomas is not winning you an NBA championship.
Nope.
He's not.
Nope.
It's a great story. It's someone great to root for, but he's not winning you and getting you there all the way.
Yep.
So let's put our eggs in the Kyrie basket, and then all of a sudden you saw what Kyrie was, and you're like, now you backtrack yourself a couple years. And the bad thing is, I think maybe this could have ruined something. Maybe the fact that you had Kyrie on the team and drafted Tatum, and those two were kind of buddy
At the same time, yeah.
How many conversations did Kyrie and Tatum have off to the side? And Kyrie's giving him advice. Hey, I played second fiddle to LeBron James, and I make my money.
You
and this is
shouldn't do
way.
that.
And dude, we know Tatum and Kyrie are kind of friendly with each other.
They are
right?
friendly.
Maybe Brown isn't as friendly with Kyrie, and he's just, I don't fucking want to believe in this guy. So maybe it was really bad for the Boston Celtics to have Kyrie as a mentor to Jason Tatum and change his mindset at a young age, because he's giving him his advice like, hey, this is what I was at that time, and when I was in Cleveland and LeBron came in, and whatever it might be, right? It just seems that the Celtics just can't find it right now. Again, I believe in basketball that you have to completely sell out a team in terms of trade all your assets, get the stars right now, win a championship, and try to win 1 or 2 in a 3-year span, and then just rebuild it all over again. I don't like playing this game of the last, 2008 so now it's 13 years.
I know.
I mean, 2010, 2011.
What's the saying? He's not coming into the door.
It's 10 years. It's the last decade. You're playing this game of, it's nice to be in the playoffs every year or go to the Eastern Conference Finals. Again, Hayward. Look at the Hayward. You put your eggs in the basket for Hayward, and that didn't work out. So you keep trying these new big threes that you want to put out there, and just never clicks. And also, it's just because you don't have enough time for it to blossom too.
That's a great point. But I heard, and this is from a reliable source, that since day one, Marcus Smart and Jaylen Brown just did it. Marcus Smart doesn't like Jaylen Brown because he thinks he's kind of corny. I think those were the words that were told to me. And I'm like, okay. So I understand how you want to get rid of Smart. I, too, would say let's get rid of Smart. I wanted to give him a chance because I think he's a really good defender. I think he's the only person left outside of Jaylen Brown that's willing to kind of hustle, because you still need that in this game. You still need it, man.
But it's just how many dumb plays does Smart also make that cost him games, too?
Oh, yeah.
He wins you and loses you games.
Yeah, a double-edged sword, as they say, right?
It really is, and it's tough as a fan to be like, how many chances are we going to keep giving Marcus Smart? Because this is what we're getting.
Yeah.
We keep going back into the well. Like, he's going to bail you out 1 second and then screw you the next second.
You know what it is?
He hits a 3 and you get so excited. Like, how the hell did he do that? And then all of a sudden it's like you're doing a dumb foul, or something ends up happening. You're not thinking. You don't have situational awareness on the court, and you screw yourself out of a win. It's just, how many times can that happen? It's just, again, rip the Band-Aid off, give this team over to Brown or Tatum, and just get Smart out of here and just deal with it that way. I'd rather be losing games without Marcus Smart. Yeah, I just think it's just a huge distraction.
I think he's respectfully, I think he's just crazy. And I also think this guy's crazy as well. What's going on over here?
I don't know how the NFL is going to handle this. They're probably so happy that there's so much talk about Odell Beckham.
100%.
Dude, we are such a short attention society.
It's scary.
That we went from Henry Ruggs to Aaron Rodgers.
One day with
Odell Beckham, that people are already forgetting about Henry Ruggs and the situation that he murdered somebody.
Right.
And all of a sudden now we got this political jackass with the vaccine, and he was all over the place on the Pat McAfee show.
They caught his ass.
But you know what? Then all of a sudden he wins because Jordan Love looks so bad against Kansas City. The Packers need Aaron Rodgers to save their season. And Aaron Rodgers is not coming back till Saturday because he can't come back off COVID protocol. He's going to play Sunday, and Aaron Rodgers is probably going to fucking win against the Seattle Seahawks and look great. And all of a sudden, everyone's going to be back on his side in a way. Like, it's just so weird. It's so it's such a weird. It's one of these. We got to let it play out. We just got to let it play out and see what ends up happening. I would say, like, I support his beliefs, but his beliefs are all over the place. Like, why are you like, I get my information from Joe Rogan, and I follow what he does. It's like, what? Like, what are you doing? Like, I understand one side if you don't want to get the vaccine, But then all of a sudden, it's like we have a bigger issue. The NFL was covering it up. They knew about it.
They knew
the
about
Packers
it.
Knew about it. He was breaking multiple COVID protocols. Look at Cam Newton, how they were on his ass about not being vaccinated, right?
I'm actually shocked nothing has come out with Cam or him saying anything, unless I'm not hearing anything.
It's just Cam Newton he doesn't get the vaccine and he travels out of Foxborough and it has to wait 5-day protocol. How many times has Aaron Rodgers probably left the Green Bay facility or the Green Bay area and traveled somewhere to go do something or go film something that he was supposed to be in that COVID protocol coming back? It just shows you in terms of status quo.
Yep.
This has nothing to do with skin color or anything like that, because I know people like to put it that way. We already talked about it last week. We're not diving back into this week. Status quo. Aaron Rodgers is a golden boy in the NFL. He makes money. He's a quarterback. They try to protect players like this. They're protecting him. They're hoping everyone will forget about it. And because we are such a short attention society, they will forget about it. It's just going to be another speed bump in the NFL. He'll play Sunday. He'll win against the Seahawks. People will he'll use his platform afterwards to just say, hey, I came in here, I played, whatever it is, and people will just move on because, oh, well, Aaron Rodgers came back and won. Good for him. It's just crazy how this is another major story that needs more attention and digging in the NFL, just like it's taking attention off the Washington football team. Probably people are forgetting about them.
100%.
And John Gruden. Like, remember the John Gruden thing that happened earlier? We're all forgetting these things that are happening.
This is like, these are the days of our
crazy.
Lives. It's like soap operas, man.
Oh, my. Like, the NFL has all these hundreds and thousands of emails, and they're never going to get released because we're now worried about Aaron Rodgers. What's the next thing we're going to be worrying about? We're going to be worrying about Odell this week now. What's the next thing we're going to be worrying about?
I know what they're going to be worrying
about. They're going to be worrying about Mac Jones twisting people's ankles.
Ooh.
And we have to find him. Let's get the attention on Mac Jones now. He's breaking ankles out there. He's purposely hurting people.
Wait a minute. What? I got some intel. Everyone.
First it looked like he was trying to trip or kick Burns, and then next thing you notice, I saw him tugging on Burns' ankle. I thought it was completely dirty.
I just did what I do best. I took your little plan and I turned it on itself. Look what I did to this city with a few drums of gas and a couple of bullets. You know what I noticed? Nobody panics when things go according to plan, even if the plan is horrifying. If tomorrow I tell the press that, like, a gangbanger will get shot, or a truckload of soldiers will be blowing up,
they're still holding.
Nobody panics, because it's all part of the plan. But when I say that one little old mare will die, well, then everyone loses their minds.
Seriously, imagine looking at that and thinking Mac Jones was purposely trying to twist his ankle and hurt him. Like Mac Jones said, it's a bang bang play. That's all it is.
Oh my God!
He might have thought he had the football. He's just grabbing him by the ankle. There's no bad intent. There's no, it's crazy because now everyone's trying to make a big deal about it. Because guess what? You know why?
Why?
The Patriots are good again. So the Patriots are good again. They're either cheating. Or they're doing bad plays out there. They're trying to get people hurt. Mac Jones, out of all people, the rookie, is trying to hurt people out there.
Damn, Mac Jones.
But look at that. What you see Judon getting grabbed, getting held back like that. It's been happening multiple times. Shout out to Master at Work for doing that video and everything like that. It was awesome. We appreciate that. I can't believe how Twitter was blowing up on that. Again, short attention span. Let's put all the focus on that. NFL might want to, maybe they'll fine Mac Jones tomorrow. Maybe we might see a fine, and now everyone's going to be in an uproar about that. So we just keep moving as a league and seeing we're only halfway through the season.
Unbelievable.
And we still haven't hit the playoffs, right? So it's just, they love the drama. They love this extra stuff that gets more attention for their brand. They love it even in the offseason. They love off-season drama. Everyone's talking about the NFL because they're still going to make money. They're still going to get their clicks. It's funny how it works.
And real quick, because we're past the hour actually, but it's okay. I just want to show this video just because this was it was a little insane. I'm just going to show some of this video just because when you shared the clip with me, I read about it. I was working, didn't hear much, but unbelievable. Come on!
the police came in. They eventually stopped it. There was other videos that, I mean, if you're on TikTok this past week or you're on Twitter and you look this up, it's not hard to see the videos. Some of them are really gruesome to watch. You have people getting CPR done to them while Travis Scott is still up on the stage singing. It's kind of just, it's rough. Imagine going to a concert and you don't come back home that night, or a loved one that goes out like that. The finger pointing is going everywhere right now. They're saying that Travis Scott, it was enticing people to do this, to, you know, rush the barricade, because that's the VIP line that people are coming into. These events that hire security are just hiring regular people to just do the job, right? It's not like they're police officers that can take and arrest you right away. So even those officers that came in with the horses at the end, they're detail officers. They don't want to be making arrests. They don't want to be dealing with this stuff.
Yeah.
It's just one of these situations that it's sickening to see. It's sickening our society comes to like this. But if you can take advantage, you're going to take advantage. That's what they see. But there's been so many videos of people pushing each other. You're squished like sardines for an outdoor concert for Travis Scott. I never understood it in terms of, you know, these big festivals that hundreds of thousands of people end up going to. Like, why be crammed like that? I'd rather just watch it at home, or I'd rather try to catch the stream of it.
Yeah.
I get being in there and being a part of you know, the crowd is different because of the atmosphere, but it's a little bit scary when someone's walking around with needles and just poking people and injecting people with drugs.
Yeah, that's insane.
Maybe peer pressure when there's 10 people around you tripping on acid and they make you do it. I mean, it's absolutely insane. I asked my buddy who's a big EDM, my buddy Ton Tran, who travels around, goes to Orlando or goes to the Vegas for these trips, and I asked him, "You saw that? Like, what's your opinion?" He's like, well, EDM brings in a different crowd than, say, like a rap or Travis Scott crowd would be. But I mean, there's always stuff that probably goes under the radar that doesn't go reported. I mean, I'm sure there's plenty of things that happen at these major festivals that we don't see. And think that what the only silver lining in this, because there really isn't, 8 people passed away.
Yeah.
Numerous people are hurt. I think this is going to change our lives and culture and how we handle concerts and festivals going forward, that there needs to be more attention to detail. An example, I saw a thing on Twitter. It was a Playboi Carti concert. I believe that they had a general admission floor to have wristbands in, and people started flooding the floor. Because guess what? If everyone's doing it at the same time, remember back in the old days where, you know, the Celtics win a championship and everyone bum rushes the floor,
right.
Or you see that in college football a lot. It's a tradition, but those traditions can get people hurt,
right.
Or especially in concerts nowadays where it's just a general admission floor, VIP. People were paying thousands of dollars, and you just had someone who gets a cheap ticket and sneak down there.
Yeah.
The more people do it, it's hard to do crowd control. But the Playboi Carti concert, what happened was they went over the speakers before it even started, and they said, if you guys are acting like this, you're ruining for everybody. We're going to shut down the concert.
Shut it down. Yeah.
I think that you're going to start seeing some more liability now at these concerts, because Travis Scott himself is not going to lose in a court battle,
right.
Like himself personally, individually. His name's going to be tossed around. I'm sure he's going to have to, go up on the stand and attest, but it's going to be the production crew, or someone's taking the fall, Cliff. Like
100%.
Someone's taking the fall.
Right.
Someone's going to be held liable. So I think it's kind of like the Alec Baldwin situation we talked about a couple weeks ago. Someone's going to get the finger pointed. Someone's going to eat it. And same way in this concert venue and how it's set up, someone's going to eat it. Someone's going to end up getting in trouble for it. So it's just it's sad to see. It's just sad to see it. It's disgusting. It's
disgusting.
Actually just, I'm on TikTok and I'm flipping and I'm like, every other 5 or 6 videos is just another perspective of someone in there. I saw someone who was recording and they all got pushed, and he's down on the ground screaming for his life because he's just down and can't breathe.
I think there's something that I think we've gone a little crazy just as humans. I don't know if you've ever watched like Gladiator or those type of like movies. I feel like we're going back to those days, like where people went to the Coliseum to see other people stab other people for entertainment. Or this is why, like, I love social media, obviously, for what we do. We need it, right? But I hate it for what it
promotes.
It's ugly. It's ugly. Like, I have a bunch of different group chats. I have, some with my wife and some of her friends, with my boys. But I had to tell them, hey, if you guys keep sharing, I have no reason to keep watching.
Yeah,
I don't need to see someone get shot in the head. It doesn't. There's no appealing. It's not appealing to me. And I think that mindset has kind of desensitized people and has said, hey, you know, it's not a big deal that I just walked over another human being because I have to somehow be first to see Travis this way. It's just weird. I remember I did a Rock the Bells concert. This was 2005, and I think Radiohead and a couple other people were there, and they were doing some mosh shit, right? And the girl I was with, I had to actually cover her and say, all right, we're getting out of here, because I watched the guy put on gloves just ready to just fight people. I'm like, so you came to a concert to basically box people?
Yeah,
that's fucking insane, dude.
I think our society as a younger generation is just getting, you know, the promotion of social media, we call it savage.
Yeah.
Right. We call it like, oh, it's you want to be trendy, you want to go viral. I just think that the younger generation, just doesn't give a fuck. Each generation gives less fucks every single time, man. Right? So think about our grandparents and how they had to work. They go through the Great Depression. They have to work. They have to save. Then the boomer generation comes in, and the boomer generation has all these newer things. Then you kind of go through the millennial generation, and now we have these things.
Yep.
These things have only existed for, I think, less than 20 years, right?
Yes.
Because we didn't have these in 2001.
Nope. I remember my first one that I did. We did have Nokias. I remember my first thing that I promoted. I had an artist. He performed for the circus. It was 2009, and everyone was like, "What is it that you're doing?" Live was not really lighted it like it is now.
Twitter's only existed since probably 2007, 8, 9, right? Like, Instagram comes off of Facebook.
It's fucking
but
crazy.
Now, TikTok is, and especially because of COVID, and you had nothing else to do.
Yeah.
It's become so trendy, but we're just starting to see a lot more in our society, Cliff, like the good and bad. There's good things, but there's so much more bad things. And when someone does something bad, everyone wants to jump in on it and be funny, like, oh, like, haha, like I'm being edgy, right? I'm being, edgy about it. It's just, it's disgusting, dude.
Stupid.
It's tough, and it's like we are going backwards as a society.
Yeah.
It feels like without phones, now it's good because there's certain things that need to be seen to educate us as a society that this shouldn't be happening. But I feel like we're almost going backwards in a way.
100%.
It's crappy. It's like dude, it just sucks, man, because it's just like you don't want a national tragedy.
You don't want to see your babies.
But I'm just saying,
going to their concert when they get that age.
Yeah.
And to get a call.
I'm just saying,
that's
like,
fucked up.
Our society is not united all at the same time, and it hasn't been probably since September 11th of 2001, 20 years ago.
Yeah.
And it's just, I'm not saying that a national tragedy needs to put everybody together, but there needs to be something like a benefit concert that can be put together to try to educate our society and community to all come together to be more peaceful, or to we need rules in society to live by, so we can all live together as
100%.
one. And when you have no rules, look what happens.
Yep.
You go to a concert, 8 people are dying. You're getting hurt. So many people are getting hurt. You don't know what the hell's happening. So
I'm telling
it's
you,
tough, man.
we're going back to the gladiator days.
And you know what? I can also blame it on COVID. Like, everyone's
COVID
tucked inside, and you want to rage.
Now you don't know how to react when you see people. Tone, because we're only speaking to people this way instead of just actually like we're doing now, which is why I think these type of forums is dope. Salute to everyone that's paying attention. I want to give a shout out because there's a lot of people that's chiming in. We need to continue doing things like this, because if not, I think it's only going to get worse. What a way to end the freaking thing. But you know what? We're going to spin it, and I know you can do it. I'm going to throw you under the bus. Final thoughts, sir. Give us some final thoughts. Make it happy.
Make it happy. Make it exciting.
Please. Besides the great news that you gave of us going to the playoffs.
My final thought is this, man. The Patriots, they're back. Like, they are 100% back. I am so ecstatic, so finally happy in my final thoughts that they have the chance every single week to keep proving the naysayers, the doubters, the haters, everybody wrong, including me. Because you know what? I doubted. You doubted. Yep. We all doubted. Yep. They go 1-3. and you just knew your backs are against the wall. Their backs have been against the wall for the last 5 weeks, and they keep showing it over and over again. And guys, we can't keep dwelling on the past.
No.
Oh, like if they didn't fumble against Miami. Oh, if they didn't, lose overtime against Dallas. Oh, if they didn't kick that field goal and they went for it. Can't dwell on the past. You got to keep pushing forward. This team's pushing forward. Fan base is going to push forward. So I'm just so happy, so ecstatic. And you know what? Another thing, shout out to all the people who participate in Big Mac victory.
Hell yeah.
Like,
Hell yeah.
Like it's been so.
Can I give him an applaud for that? Is that cool? Is that cool? Is that cool? Yeah.
Oh, the live studio audience loves it.
They love it. Thank you.
Because
Thank you.
Big Mac victory has been something that's cool. That Cliff, this is fucking global. We got people in Australia, Italy, Trinidad.
I saw my country, Canada.
Canada
that.
gets representing, man. Mexico, it's all over, man. People are going out of their way to get a Big Mac afterwards because it's a celebration post. It feels like you're part of something in the little community that we've built up together. And I'm glad that Spike King can be part of a trend-setting community like that we all like to enjoy together. So I got to lay off the Big Mac sometimes because because I'm really turning into a Big Mac right now.
Calories are real.
It's the off-season cut will be amazing. That's what I'll tell you.
That's it. That's it. Hey, man, my final thought, dude, is this. At the end of the day, there's another day that we can strive to get better. And just like the Patriots, on to the next, man. On to the motherfucking next. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we want to thank you for joining us tonight for what? Another one of the best shows. Because, let me go back. Hold on. Before I end this, because I want to say this. I'm going to say it. I was going to hold back. People are watching because I'm hearing a lot of things being used on their show. They're very lucky that we have to shoot this at night because then we could be first. But ladies and gentlemen, I know what we talk about, and then it just happens to have that same conversation with other programs, which is cool. I just want you guys to know.
I love that we're able to film this right after a Monday Night Football, right after the week before everyone starts talking and breaking down everything. I know you have your Monday shows that will have the reactions right away, but there's things that we are looking forward to in the week that people are going to later start talking about.
That's it.
And I love that we have that. I like that we can be able to do this. This is awesome. Boston Power Hour. We're slowly building every week. I like this. You got the logo.
It's getting there.
It's on here. It looks good.
Wait till you see the intro. I want to show them the intro. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't want to show them the intro that's done, but it's there because we want to do it right.
Baby steps. That's it.
We want to do it right.
Cliff, keep working hard, man.
No, you keep working hard because you're doing the work too. No, bullshit. Ladies and gentlemen, when I tell you this is a partnership right here, okay? It's a partnership. We both have lives, but we come here to provide you entertainment. And that man gives you some numbers so you can win some money. And on that note, I'm out of here. How about you? Are you out of here?
Yeah, I'm out of here. Let's get going, baby.
It's another
Boston Power Hour.
And we're out.